Yay, look at that. It's a pretty title screen. Yay! Actually, this is the new release of my game, Project Drake. Look, it even has a logo now, and the menus make ticky noises. As you can see, it now supports widescreen resolutions. This entire UE scales to whatever resolution you have. I think it goes up to 3 screens of this wide before it just shows you blackness in the title screen. I don't know why I did that. Nobody's ever gonna have their screen set up that way, but yeah, I was bored. As you can see, there's a planet here, because this is obviously a space game with knights. That makes total sense. And a little moon. This is actually a pre-generated height map that is being procedurally turned into a planet. You'll see once we create a save. This is creating a save. This will actually change to your last played save as a planet. So, as you can see, when you click New Game, you see in sort of archaic version of the world map, there's mountains here and there, and a bit hilly bits there, and water, lots of water. This looks like some kind of fish, like a hammerhead shark. That's cool. The reason I did this is because I do want people to have an idea of what the world is going to look like before they accept it. I don't want it to be completely blind, but it's still abstract enough that you can't really, it doesn't spoil the entire world for you, because you know there's mountains here, but you're not sure what you're going to find there or exactly what they're going to look like. So if you click the randomize button, you can see that it loads in the background as you go along. So you can just, as soon as you get the idea, like this one is kind of messy, I don't want that, you just click the randomize button, drag it around, see if it's fine, and there you go. So that's how that works. This one looks okay, so we hit accept, name the world, we'll name it Hammerhead Shark, because sharks are cool. And we're in the game. Let's see where we are actually. There's a new world map, which is basically the same bloody thing I just showed you. You can drag it around a bit to center your world. And then there's here a lock widget, which is going to be on more stuff that you can adjust later. You can lock and unlock the map, so you can't actually accidentally drag it around. This is actually saved, so this is going to be my world map. So I'm on this big continent here. And I'm actually going to put a map marker here and call it home. So you can place map markers on a mini-map, you can remove and rename them, so yeah. So if I want to name it Shark Home, then, there you go. Can you guys even read this? This is very tiny fonts, but whatever. It says Shark Home, so now you know. So this is the player marker. You see it has a little flare that pulses every now and then. Suggestion by a friend to make it easier to spot your player on the map. Not sure why it would ever be hard, but that's pretty good. So something else that's new is, again, not sure if you can read this, but there's a spawner which spawns around the player. It basically functions a bit like Minecraft. I'm gonna do a different approach to this later, but for now, just so you have the evil knights around you, there's this spawner. It has a minimum range, maximum range, and all that stuff. And this basically means that there's always going to be evil knights around you. Evil knights always surrounding you. Oh my god, how scary is that? Oh look, there's one. So combat is not changed whatsoever. Nothing new there. And that's because this release is a stability release and basic functionality like loading, saving games, that kind of thing. Oh, as you can see, the world map's been loaded in by then. Oh, you can't currently edit your map markers on the world map. I'm gonna add that later, but for now, too lazy. What was I saying? Can't remember. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it's a stability release, so under the hood, things are very stable and better, and error reporting is much increased. My god, that's loud. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Like, if I cross this border, there's no visible chugging, and there was a bit before, so that was bad. What else is there? I mean, it's still the same thing. Like, if I want to build my house here, which I'm not going to be able to, because I'm poor, but, you know, starting to build my house. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I am always picky like that. Oh, run out of money. Gonna have to kill more dudes. Oh, there's one. Hello, dude. Give me your money. Awesome. So, something else that's new is... say I want to build behind these blocks because I placed them, but now I want the floor because having floors is cool. You can see it suddenly gets deselected. That's because I'm holding the shift key. Yep. So shift lets you build through stuff. I could theoretically build it inside the wall, but it won't let me. So building in a little bit of floor. As you can see, shift. Hang on, let me do it this way, it's clearer. So basically there's a circle of transparency that follows your cursor. It doesn't show the terrain under it, because that would, you know, later mess up outlines and ambient occlusion and stuff. And the same effect follows your dude around, so pretty good, pretty cool. I'm just gonna cheat my way into some more gold here. So, building that. Some more walls. Just like always. I just want to show you how this makes building so much easier. I mean, look at this. It's... Normally I would have had to remove those walls in front and be all strategic about how I was going to build this, and now it's just, nah, I don't care. So, as you can see, it doesn't work on doors and stuff, because then you would click through them, and that would be bad. So yeah, the old X-ray toggle is still in there, so you can turn this off, and it turns off all X-ray. It's probably good on older computers with low-end hardware, which is another thing that's been improved since the last release. It should now, I haven't tested it, but it should basically run on crappy netbooks. So that's good. I'm gonna test that soon, actually. My netbook adapter died, so I couldn't test it, but I got a new one in. So that's gonna be... So as you can see, Evil Knights, they tend to be a bit clumped up. I did that on purpose, because it sucks to like have Evil Knights in every direction, but only one. So now they clump up in... Usually it's only one, but they can come in groups of up to 3. So that's that. Now let's see what else we can do. I'm gonna turn on the speed cheat, and I'm gonna find us some mountains. No, where do we find mountains? Oh look, there's my home. Hello. Oh wait, I should see, this is why you should always use markers, because now I don't know where the hell my house is. Oh well. So we want to go to, actually, here. This looks interesting. So, you can still run up any kind of slope and down into the bottom of the ocean. That hasn't been changed yet. That's also on the books for the next release, which is v0.3 rusty short sword. Should be done in a month, I hope. I'm off from school on holidays now, so I have plenty of time to work on it. So as you can see, this is all very smooth. Me running around. It's a bit choppy because of the frame rate of fraps, but otherwise it's smooth. It doesn't chug or anything. It loads all the new chunks and generates them in background threads. So that's good. It's all very solid and smooth, and that's basically what this release was for. I wanted to get it as rock solid as I possibly could before adding content, because then you just get buggy content if the basis is buggy, and then you have more points from which you might need to debug the problems, and that's not gonna work. So I'm very excited that I finally got it done. I went through like a list of 300 to-do notes in this release, and I implemented it all. Of course, there's new to-do notes now, but the old ones are gone, and that's the most important bit. So I'm running all the way over here. I actually timed how long it would take to reach from one corner to over the map all the way around again. Whoa, that's a lot of nights. Whoa, whoa! What the hell? Hang on. Let me activate my god mode. What the hell are you? Is this Evil Night Isle? Okay, I dubbed this place Evil Night Isle. Evil Night Isle. Oh, and if, so let's say I want to call this Evil Night Point. Evil Night Point. So there's going to be two markers here, and it just, you know, shows them both. So that's good. So I have my Shark Home and Evil Night Island with Evil Night Point here. And let's see if these are actually mountains. As you can see, the minimap shows what you see from a top-down perspective. It doesn't show blocks though. So like if I put some blocks here, that doesn't show up on the minimap. It does show like terraforming, like see? So that's good. Apparently this island looks a lot rockier on the map than it does in person, which is a bit of a shame, really. But it does prove that the idea of, you know, making the map a bit abstract works, because I thought this was going to be one big rocky mass. And it's not really, it's just kind of slopes. Now we're getting a bit into the good bits now. So as you can see, there's various types of terrain. There's the oceans, then there's the land masses, and there's some smaller islands dotted around. Like there's one, that one would actually be big enough to live on, I think. Wait, what the hell? Right. Yeah. So these are mountains, and there's hills, and there's flat areas, and it's still kind of samey because it's all grass, and that will hopefully also change in the next release. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, I was actually hoping to find some better mountains. Hang on, I'm gonna pause the recording, and when I get back, we'll have some cool mountains to look at. So I found an interesting island, and it's again infested with evil knights. I think I know what's going on, because the evil knights can't spawn in water. So as soon as you approach an island, the entire coast gets absolutely infested with evil knights, and that's a bit of a problem actually. I'm gonna... in a new spawning system that wouldn't happen. A new spawning system would basically just designate certain zones for spawning a certain number of things. So if there's a part of the forest, for instance, where harpies spawn, to name an Ultima Online analogy, they would always be spawning in that area, which allows you, it allows you to camp a spawn, but I don't know, it just feels better to me, more sensible. So this is an interesting island. As you can see, it's very rocky. And this is one of those islands, you see a couple more here, that are interesting because they're basically made up of mountains that are so enormous that they just jut out of the bottom of the ocean like, I don't know, spears of the gods. Look at me being all poetic and shit. But yeah, they're interesting. They're like these really horrible islands that you can barely move along, and they have some very interesting terrain. It's interesting that the terrain has these kinds of features, basically, that you can identify a certain type of island. And oh my god, there's way too many of you. Seriously. So eventually all these rocky bits would be insurpassable, so you might be able to like climb up through here. I'm thinking of adding certain climbing skills and athletic skills, swimming skills as a certain tree. For gameplay, obviously, that's not in yet. But yeah, there's a big variety in terms of landscapes that you can expect. And if you wanted to, you could basically build a pretty decent pirate outpost on a rocky island like this. It's a pretty fortified position. I mean, look at these cliffs, man. They don't look like much because of the 2D, but I assure you they are very steep. If you fell down here, you would take some pretty decent damage, I'll tell you that. It's gonna be interesting because, like, there's a little plateau here, and I could see players, I don't know, wanting to build like a tower on the plateau or something, I don't know. It's just cool stuff like that. And you know, there's a little slope down here into the mountains, or well, down the mountains, but whatever. So you could have a landing zone here. Just you know, build a little landing zone. Come on. So build a little landing zone. So you would like dock here, and I do want players to be able to have ships. I actually improved the water shader, by the way. Bit of a non sequitur, but whatever. You would dock here, and you would go along your merry way, and you'd be like, this is the landing area, and then you can walk into the mountains along this path, and only this path, so you could fortify it with, like, I don't know, put walls here or something, I don't know, whatever. And you'd be here, and you can't go that way, you can't come up that way, and you just kind of mosey along here, along the path, all the way up to where your tower or your fort or whatever is built in this area. So that's basically how I envision things. All of this is also saved. The map markers, your position, your gold, invulnerable status. Not whether or not you're dead, because there's no way to respawn yet besides reloading, so that's temporarily disabled, so if you die you don't lose the entire save. This is also all scaled to your resolution, so if I wanted to, I could play this at 320 by 240 res, which would be hilarious. And yeah, that's basically it for in-game. I have one last thing to show you, but that needs another cut, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back in the main menu. Because it saved my last played save, this is actually now my world. The world that we were just in, seen from space. I don't know what it has, but I think it's pretty cool. It even And now you might be wondering, how the hell do you map a square map onto a sphere? Because normally that's not possible. Well, the answer is I cheat. Basically whatever's seen here is a spherized filter like Photoshop's run on a square of the map, and the human eye basically can't tell the difference anyway. You can see that it has normals like a normal sphere. They're also calculated in the pixel shader. That was actually pretty hard. So the mountain ranges here, they shade properly and all that kind of stuff. So this is my save, Hammerhead Shark. Because I don't know where our little island is actually, but yeah, pretty cool. So this is the resume game menu. I hadn't shown you that. If you have multiple saves, you can basically go through them here. You can double click on this one to enter, or you can double click on the planet, and as you can see, it loads up and I'm right where I left with all my gold. So still invulnerable. It doesn't say whether you're super speeding, because that's actually not saved inside your character but outside. So well, that's it for the showcase. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in giving it a whirl, please send me a message on Twitter, YouTube, or leave a comment on the development blog. All of those are linked in the description. And please stay tuned for the next release. Hopefully sometime next month. So August. Check back August. Well, thanks, and see you later.